the end results, the test was really good. As you can see, I got a 14-1 record from the arena loop, and yeah, that's mostly because of the clutch situations. Although of course I'm still encountering those players that only leave one character on their team, so that's pretty much an automatic win. But still, in general, I only lost once, so that's still a big deal. Although I guess 4-3 to 4-4, 4,200 to 4,400 in arena isn't exactly a big deal, or because most people are stuck there, to be honest. What's the big deal, or rather what you should be wary of, is 4-4 and beyond. And thankfully I was able to more or less blast through 4-4, although by the time I reached 4-5 I lost once, but still, in the end it's still a good result. So yeah, Teo Remake is actually very good. I haven't played the Korean server, but other players have mentioned that his kit here, his revamped kit here, is much stronger compared to the Korean version. So let's look at it for a bit. So yeah, still pretty much the same, but the difference is his immunity to damage increased by 1, his revive turns or zombie turns is increased by 1 as well. The critical hit and ignore enemy defense for normal attacks is still the same. And yeah, what's the most important here is this becomes immune to all debuffs during immortality, which is the same effect that Chris' awakening skill does. So that's pretty good. They can pretty much do clutch moments, as you may have seen from one of the battles during the arena loop. That was very good, to be honest. I got really lucky there, but still, that goes to show that being immune to debuffs can easily make for clutch situations, which is pretty much the forte of Teo even back then as a zombie. As for his talent strike, it's pretty much I'm not sure if Talon Strike already had critical hit before, but either way, piercing and critical hit is good, and the damage has been revamped to 80% with ×2. So yeah, it actually hurts quite a lot, especially for those units like Wukong, because Wukong always blocks, so having guaranteed critical hit really helps in taking a huge chunk of HP out of those types of units. As for Curvus Eclipse Slash, of course you vamp damage as well, 70 ×2, and reduces the enemy buff duration by 3 turns, which before I think is 2 turns. And of course at the same time ignores the enemy's defense, so that increases the damage quite a lot. So I've got 2 speed type weapons here. And my armor, I haven't unfortunately awakened yet, but they're both counter types. Although to be honest, even if you do awaken these items, Teo is still quite squishy. But still, I'll be needing those additional counter rate percentage from the awakened item. So yeah, I might awake this in the future, of course. And my accessory on him is a hard CC, which is paralyzed in this case, and increased lethal rate because he pretty much replaced Chancellor for backline. So we really need to have him use Talon Strike or whichever of the two to deal damage. So yeah, as for limit break, yeah, I have max limit break him, as you can see, to increase speed, of course, and increase his stats across the board in general. So yeah, the only problem in my team is that Teo's basic attacks don't shine that much because of Chris, because Chris will mostly counter compared to Teo, but still, whenever it counts, Teo's basic attacks really help quite a lot. As for my jewels for him, I've got lethal rate over here, crit damage, and basic attack. So yeah, I'm not sure if I should consider myself lucky for getting a basic attack 4L jewel, but still, you know, it's very appropriate for someone like Teo. So of course, we've got Awakened Chris and Wukong here. As usual, they really shined a lot when they came out. Of course, Miho for the CC immunity twice, although of course it's inferior compared to Amelia's and Chloe's, but still, you know, she's pretty much our only choice for physical team. Maybe, you know, Elysia as well, but because buff reduced duration skills are quite prevalent right now, Elysia may not be as effective. So, and lastly, of course, Yonhee for the reduced defense passive, and of course her, you know, reduced enemy buff duration as well. That helps out a lot. So yeah, this team fortunately has a lot of contingency backups, such as Chris Awakening skill. Of course, whenever everyone is wiped out, he can revive everyone with, you know, immunity to debuffs as well for 4 turns, if I remember correctly, or 3 turns only. But still, you know, that's still more than enough to turn the tide in the battle. And we've got Wukong as well when everyone's wiped out. Usually, because he's so tanky, he's the only one left, and when he dies, he's got a full set of clones to help him out. So as you may have seen in my arena loop, and of course our zombie Teo, because he is now immune to debuffs, it's much more easier for him to wipe out people with, or to fight against other zombies because of his Corvus Eclipse Slash. It's increased, you know, enemy buff duration reduced skill, and at the same time pretty much normal attacking everyone to death. So yeah, the only problem of course with this team is it's very prone to, as I said, enemy buff duration reduced skills, because Chris Awakening skill relies on turns, even Wukong's clones rely on turns, and of course even Teo relies on turns. So yeah, so if ever this kind of team becomes meta, which I assume it will be, of course, then, you know, pretty much everyone will have the same problem, and so it's all a matter of who gets the skill first or who gets lucky in RNG. Although unfortunately I don't have any speed jewels on me, so of course enemies who do have those might have a huge advantage over me. But still, for now, I'm quite satisfied with the results. As for my pet here, of course, Kree. Hopefully I'll be able to get a 6-star version in the future. As for my formation, of course, 1-4 with the increased debuff cast rate of, why did I choose backline? For some reason I wasn't able to change it. I should have made it frontlines, but unfortunately it didn't hinder me much from winning. Although I was contemplating if I should use increased debuff cast rate or resist rate, because you know, we're not gonna be relying as much from CC, because this is not a death team, and we've got more than enough, you know, chances of applying debuffs thanks to Kree, and so we might be needing the resist rate in order to fight against, you know, enemies CC. But I might still experiment with that, but for now I'm quite satisfied with increased debuff cast rate. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much that. As for my here we go, masteries. Of course, offensive, everything is the upper line except for the third part, or the level 20 part of the first page, and pretty much 50, 55, 65, and 70 of the second page, and the rest are all the upper parts of the mastery. So yeah, overall, the only problem, as I said, is that Teo's basic attacks don't shine as much except for clutch situations wherein he's pretty much the only one left to counter, which is very uncommon because Chris is quite resilient, and so Chris sometimes stays quite long in the field, so Teo doesn't counter as much. But whenever he does, well, he does quite a lot of damage, especially with my basic attack duel. Another problem with this is, yeah, of course, as I said, enemy buff duration reduce skills. But yeah, another is, you know, Miho's CC immunity shield, which is only 2 times compared to Amelia's and Chloe's. So of course that's still inferior, but in general I'm still liking the team because we've got lots of backups here, as I mentioned already earlier. So yeah, overall I'm still quite satisfied with the team, although of course it can still be quite improved. My Miho is not fully limit break. I've only got her how do you call this, the limit break for the speed attack +1, just so to increase my chances of attacking first, but the rest are fully limit break. But of course I still need to optimize my equipments, as you can see, as well as my jewels and all that. So yeah, as well as my accessories. Of course, I don't even have substat for Yonhee here yet, as well as for Miho and all that. So yeah, anyway, in general, I'm quite liking the team. I guess if I would rate it, I guess it's 8/10, and I would score the same for probably the Teo remake. It's really good, to be honest, and it pretty much effectively, you know, removed the purpose of Chancellor, which is the main damage dealer, and at the same time a backup reduced buff duration provider. So yeah, anyway, if you guys have any suggestions with the team and stuff like that, feel free to do so and tell me and stuff. But yeah, for now I'm quite satisfied with it. All I need is more transcends, maybe optimize the equipment, and I'm pretty much good to go. So yeah, I guess that's that for now. If you like the video, do like it, comment for your comments, suggestions, criticisms, or whatever, and hopefully you subscribe as well. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.